Hi, so for my final summative piece, I have decided to create a digital painting portrait of a celebrity, specifically Megan Fox. Um, I created a digital painting, a digital portrait, um, and then I added my newly learned skill, which is a dual light effect. A dual light effect is pretty much when you have a portrait of a person and you divide the image into two parts, adding two different colors on either side and creating the look as if there are two bright lights shining on either side of the person, highlighting the raised parts of the face and the body to make it look like the lights are coming from behind, and it gives a very cool effect, and I really enjoyed learning this skill. I demonstrated the dual light effect by selecting both halves of the portrait, the image, and filling it with one side with a bright pink and the other side with a bright blue. And then I used a blending effect. I used the blur tool, the Gaussian blur, to blend the two colors together to make it look more natural. I copied both light layers, and I then added the lightning blur tool, which blended them even more and brought out the colors even further. I then took a brighter version of both colors and highlighted the raised points of the face and the shoulders, the nose, strands of hair to make it look like it's really glowing and like it's really coming from both sides of the image. The skill that I used that we have already learned in class was digital painting of portraits. It was my favorite unit in this class because I really enjoy drawing and painting, especially faces, so it was very fun to learn how to do that digitally, which is why I used it. I took an image of a celebrity, I created my own outlines, I did the shading, and I did everything necessary for creating a digital painting of a person. And the process took me all of the time that we had in this class. I began by creating my own outlines of the body and the face, and I added the base colors, and with using clipping masks, I created the base shadows and highlights, and so I could start my whole process. After all of the basic shadows and highlights, I then added all of my details, and then I proceeded to add the color just like you would in any digital painting. After that, I merged all of it into one image so I could properly add the dual light effect. I divided the flattened image of my digital painting in half, one half being blue, the other half being pink, and then I proceeded to
so I didn't have many of the effects that he had.
I added, like I said before, the Gaussian blur, blended everything together. I think the part I found most difficult was trying to find the exact highlight points of each color to really make it seem like there are two different light sources. I found that very difficult, but at the same time I enjoyed it. I think the part that I liked most was when I had my finishing product and I just had to add all of my details, like all of the extra strands of hair, fixing the eyebrows to make them more realistic, blending the edges of the face, all of the small details that really bring the whole portrait together was definitely my favorite part. The part that I liked least was the fact that I had to spend the most amount of time doing all of the base shadows and highlights. It took me the most amount of time, and it was very frustrating because I kept getting everything wrong, and I had to redo all of the base shadows and highlights a few times, and it was the fact that I couldn't get my process
The process was
started,
first I distorted,
and
I
that
duplicated my
is
image twice.
what I like the
and added
least
a square
about
wave
this whole
distort
process. But
on both
I
using
love
2 different layers
my
of each
end
results.
I love my portrait,
On top
and I
of the
really
adjustments,
enjoy
I
this
went to the
assignment.
filter gallery and